Welcome back to the part 2 of my Tesla app course. Let's review quickly what we did in the previous episode. If you have seen the video of the part 1 yet, I will link it in the description below. What we have achieved so far, we was talking about the technique with the shadow to create the beautiful raise and press button. We're talking about the technique how to use the inner shadow and drop shadow. And we were talking about the remove image background, and we did the top navigation bar, and we create this control menu, and then we create this beautiful tab bar with the curve using background blur. Now that we got all the information, we can create the other screen quickly with the same technique. So today, are you excited to learn new thing? We're going to create the climate screen with the progress bar and the slider, and then we're going to create this charge screen. We're going to create this battery with the beautiful neon light effect, and we will finish with this drop down table row. Don't worry, I will give you my whole design, including the prototype. So let's get started. So let's start with the new screen. So press A from your keyboard shortcut and then choose the iPhone 13 Pro. I'm going to bring side by side of my climate screen. Okay, now put the corner radius at 40 degrees. And for the background color, it's going to be linear gradient with two colors. For the top color, is going to be this gray, and the bottom is going to be dark gray. Now let's go take the basic component from UI kit from community. As usual, we always need the status bar and home indicator. All right. Next step to do, we're going to bring the top navigation with the left arrow button and the setting button with the middle title. To make it fast, we can just copy paste from the home screen. So let's do it. I'm going to copy paste this top navigation. So Command C and Command V here. Just take off the title, and I'm going to duplicate this button. I'm going to duplicate this one. Okay, all I need to do is change the symbol. So paste here, Command C, I'm going to paste here. Now let's add the title. The title is going to be climate. All I need to do is hide this one, change your text for climate. Then that's it. My top navigation is done. Next step, we're going to do the temperature progress bar. Let's begin with the ellipse one, the big circle here. So I'm going to create a new one. So press O, or you can go to the shape tool, make an ellipse 160A by 160A. And for the color, it's going to be linear. I'm going to add two colors. So let's skew like this. So the first color is going to be this light gray, and the second is going to be dark gray. Now let's add the shadow. I'm going to add two shadows. So for the dark shadow, it's going to be 18 and 18. For the blur, it's going to be the double, so it's going to be 36. I'm going to add overlay. Next, I'm going to add another drop shadow, and it's going to be white this time. So same thing. Instead of positive value, it's going to be negative. So negative 18 and negative 18. The blur is going to be 36 as well. I'm going to add overlay, so it's blend very well. This is my first ellipse. Now let's add the second ellipse. This time it's going to be a little bit small. So let's add a frame first. So Option Command G from the shortcut of your keyboard. Why I add the frame? Because I want to add the second ellipse so I can easily center the element. So let's create another ellipse inside of my frame. This time it's going to be 120 by 120. So let's center. This time it's going to be one fill color. I'm going to pick this gray. I'm going to add 3 inner shadow. So let's begin with the dark first. So for the value, it's going to be 26 and 26. And for the blur, it's going to be the double. So 26 plus 26 it's 52, right? So I'm going to add the overlay to blend well with the background. Next, I'm going to add another inner shadow. You have two ways to make this light shadow. You can make it white. So instead of positive value, it's going to be negative 26. And for the blur, it's going to be 52. So I'm going to add overlay. So you can do like this, or for the white shadow, you can take the same color as the background. For example, you can take this color and then go at the top a little bit to make more light, like this. It's the same result. So let's add a small inner shadow to make like a reflection. So it's going to be white. The blur is going to be 2. For the X value is going to be 1. And for the Y position is going to be 2. And decrease the opacity a little bit, like so. Okay, my pie chart is done. Now let's add the circle progress bar, like this. What you need to do first, draw a circle using the ellipse tool, or you can press O on your keyboard shortcut and make 192 by 192. I'm going to make it manually. When you hover the circle, a single handle will appear on the right hand side. This point determine where you can begin to create an R. I'm going to click and drag the R handle up or down, see, to change the swift. This create a gap in this circle. The tool tip will indicate the swift percentage. Dragging the handle up will produce a positive percentage. See, at the top is positive, while dragging the handle down will indicate a negative percentage. Okay, now there are 3 handles here. 1, 2, 3. The swift indicate how complete the circle is, shown by the percentage of the circle that is filled. The start handle, which has a dot inside it, the start handle indicate where the R begins. The starting position of the handle is set to 0, right? But you can drag this around the circle to change the position of the circle. So I can rotate. The ratio handle at the center of the circle allows you to change the circle to a ring. By dragging the ratio handle around, you can determine which segment is shown, either the gap or the remaining circle, as well as the size of the ring. So you can make like a small stroke or big stroke as you want. And at the end, when you are satisfied with your ring, you can change the corner radius as 40 to make the border round like this. You can just control the sweep. If you want to make 50%, it's going to be like this. If you want to make 75, just come to 75 like this. And just rotate the start point handle where you want to start like this. And add your favorite color. And then that's it. The circle progress bar is done. Now let's bring the circle progress bar together. Okay. And now let's add the text. We're going to add the number of this circle. So if my circle is 50%, I'm going to write 50%. If I change for 30, I'm going to write 30, right? Sometimes when you control manually with the Swift handle, we don't have the right precisely number. So you can go edit directly on the inspector panel and write precisely the number that you want. So the text is going to be, okay, 30%. Let's center. Now my temperature progress bar is done. So the top part is done. Next step, we're going to do the temperature slider. First thing you need to know is to create a rectangle from 192 by 7 pixel. So press R, or you can go take the rectangle on your shape tool. So create a rectangle 192 by 7 pixel of height. For the corner radius is going to be 25. Now let's add the color. What you need to do, take the dropper and take the color of the background. Then add 2 inner shadow to make like a press button. So let's do it. I'm going to add the first inner shadow, and for the position value is going to be 2. So let's add 2. And the blur is going to be the double, so 4. And I'm going to add the blending mode with the overlay. There you go. Now let's add another inner shadow, but this time it's going to be white, and this time it's going to be -2, -2, and the blur is okay. And let's add the overlay again. So there you go, the track is done. Next step to do is add another track that you're going to duplicate. So duplicate, and I'm going to add my personal color. So there we go. Enter. You can resize manually and make the size as you want, like this. This is going to be the current. Now let's create the knob. It's going to be the head of the current slider. Let's begin with this small rectangle first, and we're going to duplicate and add the auto layout and make a frame to make a knob like this. So let's create a rectangle, 3.75 by 13 pixel, and for the corner radius is going to be 1. Now add the color. Take the dropper and use the same color as the background. Now add the inner shadow. We're going to do the same technique. So for the position value, it's going to be 1. The blur is going to be the double, so 2. I'm going to add the overlay to blend well with the background. Add another inner shadow. This time it's going to be white. So same thing. Instead of positive value, it's going to be negative. So -1, blur 2, and add the overlay. There you go. Now we're going to duplicate this rectangle, or you can option drag, select the 2 rectangle and add the auto layout together. And for the spacing, it's going to be 2. And for the padding, I'm going to add manually. So for the top padding, it's going to be 1. Same thing for the bottom, 1. And for the left padding, it's going to be 9. Same thing for the right padding, 9. So for the corner radius, it's going to be 25. I'm going to add the linear gradient color. For the first color, it's going to be this gray. And the bottom is going to be this dark gray. Let's skew a little bit like that. So play a little bit. I'm going to add the first drop shadow. So for the first drop shadow, it's going to be 4 for the X position. And for the Y position, it's going to be 6. And the blur strength is going to be 20. And the opacity is going to be 35% opacity. I'm going to add another drop shadow. So this time for X, it's going to be 1. The Y is going to be 2. The blur is going to be 20. And I'm going to select the blue color from the current. And I will decrease the opacity a little bit at 15%, like this. And I'm going to add an inner shadow. It's going to be -1. The blur is going to be 8. And the color is black. And I'm going to increase the opacity at maybe 70%, like this. Now let's put together with the current slider. Select all the layer and add the frame. So Option Command G, the frames it's added. Let's center this knob. It's already centered. So my slider is done. Next, we're going to do this part. So the title and the button with the SS symbol. So let's draw a circle 50 by 50. 50 by 50. We're going to add the linear gradient with 2 colors. So the first color is going to be this gray, and the second, the dark gray. Skew a little bit. Now we're going to add the stroke, and the color for the stroke is going to be this gray. There you go. Now we're going to add the shadow. Go on Effect, Drop Shadow. For the X value is going to be 4, and the Y value is going to be 6, and the blur strength is going to be 20, and the opacity I will increase a little bit at 35%. So there you go. Next step, we're going to add the symbol from SF symbol. Search for the weather and search for snowflake. So Command C and come paste here, but before, make sure to add the frame first. So Option Command G, there you go. So Command click, and now add the text here, or you can press T on your keyboard shortcut. Then Command V, there you go. Now center this symbol. So let's make bigger a little bit, and now we can add the color. There you go, my button is done. Let's add the title next to my button. So T and write AC. First thing we're going to do is add the auto layout with the button and title together. So Shift A to add the auto layout and make it center. And for the spacing, it's going to be 10. For the constraint, it's going to be fixed. Now let's add the title and button with the slider together. You can just select and Shift A and center. And the spacing is going to be 30. And then that's it. So all you need to do is duplicate 4 times. You can just Option and drag, and you can add auto layout right now. And the spacing is going to be 40. And the padding is going to be 30. So now let's duplicate again. All you need to do is just change the title and the SF symbol, and you can play manually with your current size. So I will just copy paste to make it fast. So Command C for this one. So for the SS symbol is from the weather category. So this one is heat. This one is going to be auto. And yeah, you can play manually, but for my design, I put everything 0 because let me show you an example. The reason why I put everything 0 because when I supposed to click on so this fast setting appears, and then I can play with the slider manually, and the rest is 0, right? So if I want to open the fan, the light will appear. So for the slider and the control mode is now done. Next step we're going to do is the fast setting with the background blur. On this section, you will still need the SF symbol from Apple. So let's begin with the top row first. All we need to do on this part is the SS symbol and the auto layout. That's it. So let's begin by adding the symbol together. Alright, let's go take the icon on SF symbol first. We're going to begin with this power icon. So search for power. I'm going to take this one. So Command C. Let's create another one. I'm going to paste here. So to paste the SF symbol, you should press T for text, then Command V for paste. Okay. And for the size, it should be title 3. And I'm going to put my personal color. Alright. Now we're going to go get the chevron symbol. But don't forget to add the frame first. So Option Command G. The frame is going to be 44 by 44 and center. I'm going to name this power. Okay, now I'm going to Option drag to copy paste this chevron symbol. But I'm going to make it fast. I'm going to just Command C and paste over there. I'm going to change the color for label dark secondary, and for the textiles it's going to be footnote 13. Okay, let's center first. This one is going to be left chevron. I'm going to Option drag for the second. I'm just going to copy from this one, or you can go search on SF symbol for chevron, right? Command C, and then just paste here and name right chevron. Next, I'm going to add this text. So T, you can write whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to add the degree on punctuation, degree sign. Okay, good. All right. So for the textile for this one, it's going to be large title or regular 34. Alright, then when I'm ready, I'm going to add the layout for these three elements first. And by the way, this icon I drew by myself. All you need to do is just draw the outline with the pen tool. I make the outline and then I add another outline but with fill color. And then you union together. So I'm going to select all the three things and add the layout. So Shift A. So for the spacing is going to be 0 and the padding is 0 too. I'm going to go get this icon. So just going to copy paste. I'm going to take this one and I will just Command C and I will paste here. So this auto layout for this three thing is already done. So now let's add the horizontal auto layout. There we go. So for the spacing, it's going to be 20. And the padding, okay, let me center. For the left padding is going to be 30. Right padding is going to be 30 as well. Let's center. Drag manually to the border. All I need to do is just select space between. So next step, I'm going to duplicate this one. So Option and drag. So for this one, I'm just going to hide this middle element and change the text for both. Okay, the first one, it should be on or off. And for the text style is footnote, the small one. And the color style is going to be labeled dark primary because the light is on. If the light is off, the label should be secondary. All right. So for this one, I'm going to hide and press T. I'm going to write to change for this text. Instead, center. Okay. So this one is footnote. Okay, same thing. And the label is going to be label color dark secondary. Okay, and this one I'm going to hide. I don't need that. And that's it. So I'm going to select both layer. So this one is going to be bottom. So select the top and bottom auto layout together and add another auto layout. So for the spacing is going to be 20 and for the top padding is going to be 20 and 20 for the bottom. Left is going to be 50 and the right side is going to be 50. I'm going to set space between and just drag manually. So I'm going to add the fill color. I'm going to decrease the opacity a little bit like this. And the corner radius is going to be 40 degrees. I'm going to add a stroke, linear gradient. The top color is going to be white, bottom black. It's okay. I'm going to add overlay. And by the way, the fill is going to be overlay as well. And then I'm going to add the background blur and set the blur at 40. So the control mode is done. So now let's add all the elements together to see how it looks like. So we can see the glass effect because I add the background blur. You can take off this one if you want. So that's it. My climate screen is finally done. So good job everyone. Next, we will do this charging screen. To make it fast, we only need to just duplicate the screen 1 to make this screen 3. And I would duplicate the top navigation for the screen 3. So we're going to duplicate the screen 1 that I only need the tab bar and the image. We can take the same image or you can change. It's like you want. So we will take off this one and change for the battery instead. So we're going to copy this one first. I'm going to Command C and I will paste on my another page. So Command C here. I will just take this top navigation. So Command C. I'm going to change for this one. So I can just go to the main menu, edit, and paste to replace. There you go. All I need to do is just change the title. So it's going to be charging. And for the button, it's the same. You can change the image if you want. So this menu, I don't need that. For the charging screen, it's look the same a little bit. I just need to create this battery and put in the middle. And for this drop-down table row, I just need to convert this version and play with the inner shadow. And the rest, I just need to change the icon, hide the first icon, change the text, and adjust some little thing. So what we're going to focus on is this battery. So let's do it. So let's create this beautiful battery. Begin with a rectangle. So we're going to create a rectangle first. So press R on your keyboard shortcut. Draw a rectangle from 272 by 40 pixel. Let's center. What you need to do is enter, add the left middle point here. There you go. And add the second point. Okay, now take this point and go to the right 1 pixel. Do the same thing for the right side. So select, shift, go to the left side. So all you need to do is put corner radius at 2. There you go. The body of the battery is done. We're going to add the fill color. It's going to be white. And for the opacity, it's going to be 20%. I'm going to add overlay. And I'm going to add the inner shadow. And the color is going to be white. And for the value, it's going to be 10 everywhere. And of course, I'm going to add another overlay. There you go. So next, I'm going to add the line to make like a cube. So let's create another small rectangle like this. And we're going to mask inside of this rectangle, right? So select the rectangle. Don't forget to group together first. So Command G and Command D to duplicate the rectangle first. In the top layer, you're going to right click and use as mask. There we go. The rectangle is inside of my rectangle. And for this line, I'm going to put black and I'm going to add the layer blur. It's going to be like, a reflection. This first part is done. Now we're going to add the light effect for the battery like this. I'm going to add the stroke and the stroke is going to be linear gradient. So it's going to be white for both color. The top is going to be 0 and the bottom is going to be 100 opacity. And I will add the overlay as well. I will maybe decrease a little bit like this. Now let's do the light effect like this one. All you need to do is duplicate this rectangle and resize a little bit for the first layer. So I'm going to duplicate this one, this rectangle. Enter. Go to the left a little bit. Or you can resize manually as you want. I'm going to set over there. And we will add the color after. So I'm going to add the color. So take off everything. I'm going to set the same color, this blue, right? Next, do the same thing. Now this time I'm going to add the blur. So one more time, duplicate this layer again. But this time I'm going to add the layer blur like this. And you can play a little bit with the blur. And next step, we're going to do the linear light effect. So let's create the neon light effect. So what I can do, I can just duplicate this layer. So Command D, take off the blur, enter, select the 4 point here and go up a little bit. So for the height is going to be 96. So I'm going to go up a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to do manually my 4 gradient. So the bottom should be this color and is going to be 100 of opacity. So the second is going to be this blue and is going to be 70 of opacity. And the third is going to be this blue and for the opacity is going to be 40. And the last one for this blue is going to be 0. Like this. One more time, duplicate. So enter to align with this line. So like this. We're going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to go with this palette color. The same strategy. So I'm going to only change the colors. So this one, like this, purple, blue, and okay. So for the top is 0. The second is 40%, and the third is 70%, and the fourth color is 100. So the second rectangle, it should be 30 for the fill, 30%. And the first rectangle is going to be 20. There you go. So I'm going to put this rectangle on the back of this body. So go down completely. There you go. It's hiding. And I'm going to set the layer blur. So layer blur, I'm going to put 14. And let's play a little bit. I'm going to maybe go down a little bit for this one. So it should look like this. Now let's create the slider. So it looked like this. Now let's create the bottom part. Okay, I'm going to create a rectangle first. So 272 by 10 pixel of height. And the corner radius, I'm going to set 6. Okay, I'm going to select the same color as the background. And I'm going to add the inner shadow. So for the inner shadow, it's going to be 4, and the blur is going to be 8. And I'm going to add the overlay. So I'm going to add another inner shadow. So this time it's going to be white, and -4. The blur is going to be 8. And I'm going to add the overlay. There you go. My slider is done. Next, I'm going to create a knob. So just create a triangle. It's going to be 24 by 18. I'm going to play a little bit with the corner radius. It's going to be 1. So let's say 32 by 24 instead. And we're going to add the line, and we're going to add the text. So for the line, I can just create a small rectangle. It's going to be 8, like this. So I'm going to add the text. I'm going to write 75%. And for the text style, it's going to be footnote 13. And let's add auto layout between each other. So for the spacing, it's going to be right padding. So I'm going to add the color, the same blue color. So I'm going to option and drag. I'm going to set over there and change the text for 100. And yeah, we're going to add the auto layout all together. This one, I'm going to add a frame. So option command G. This one, I'm going to add the color, the blue gradient as well. I'm going to set the middle center. So just go down a little bit like this. Now, the last thing we have to do is I'm going to add another text for set charge limit. The text style for this one is going to be regular footnote, same thing. And the color style is going to be labeled color dark secondary. But this one is going to be at the middle. Okay, so everything is done. We can add the auto layout everywhere. So I can, this one and this one, I can add auto layout together. So Shift A, and I'm going to add with this one. I'm going to name battery. Here I'm going to name number. This one is going to be slider. Select both, Shift A. And for this one, it's going to be at the right. So let's add another auto layout. So for the battery, the slider, and this text. So there you go, Shift A. And we're going to set the alignment center. There you go. Let's add a padding a little bit. And I'm going to set space between and center. So my battery is done. Last thing I need to do is set the percentage of the battery. Make sure it's outside and put center. Okay, go up a little bit, maybe like this. Okay, for the number is going to be large title 35. And I'm going to set the percentage for label color dark secondary. And it's going to be footnote like this. So there you go. I'm done with my battery. Now that the battery control is done, we will complete with the bottom part here. So we will create a drop-down table row for Tesla supercharger location. As I mentioned before, to create the table row quickly, we can just copy-paste from the screen one and just change the symbol and text. That's it. Of course, we need to adjust some little things, such as we will need to add an additional auto layout with the title. To finish, we will need to add an inner shadow to make a press element. or you can ungroup the auto layout frame to start from scratch. To make this drop-down table row, we will need 4 auto layout. So let's begin. Now that we copy paste from this table row, we're going to convert this flat version to the Neumorphism version. All I need to do is just change the text. So first thing I will do, so I'm going to focus on this one, and then when it's fixed, I will duplicate instead of change manually for all the row. So I'm going to hide this symbol first. So for the text, I'm going to copy paste to make it fast. And I will change the text style later. So Command C, and I'm going to paste here, Command V, and then I will fix the auto layout. So for the auto layout between the two texts, the spacing is 2. So for this first row, it's going to be fill container, and make sure that the text align is left. And for this one, it's the same thing, fill container. There you go. I'm just going to hide this one. I don't need for now because I focus only on one layout, and then I will duplicate. It's going to be easy for me. So next, I'm going to create manually this location icon. So what you can do is just redraw with the triangle, or you can just draw manually with the pen tool. So let's do that. Let's create a shape. I'm going to take the polygon from the shape tool. First of all, I will create a size of 34 by 34 pixel. And then I will just flip vertical, press enter, and take the top point handle and put the corner radius at 10. There you go. My location icon is done. Okay, next step, I'm going to add the same linear gradient. There you go. Next step, I just need to add the SS symbol to put inside of my icon. So let's go to get the symbol. Search for bold. I'm going to take the fill one. So Command C. I'm going to paste here. So press T for text and Command V for paste. First of all, I would need to change the text style for the footnote. There you go. I'm going to add a frame. So Option Command G. And for the size, it's going to be 44 by 44 pixel. And then just center everything. So my location icon is done. I'm going to name this icon. So location icon. Now I'm going to add a calorimeter. So add another text. I'm going to write, for example, 1.7 calorimeter. So it's going to be regular footnote, so it's already regular. And for the color style, it's going to be labeled dark secondary. There you go. Now let's add this icon with this text together. We're going to add the auto layout. So Shift A and align. And for the spacing, it's going to be 0. So my first auto layout is done. Let's combine with the other text. Now that my icon is done, I'm going to paste over there. So you can just drag, and this one you can delete. There you go. So what I can do is just duplicate many times I want, because I want to make a vertical scrolling on my prototype. So I can scroll, you know. So it's better to have a lot of drop-down row like this. So next, what we're going to do is this one, the title and this button. So the first row, I'm going to write this title. So let's find the subtitle first. And then I'm going to just copy this text, and I'm going to paste here. There we go. And for the resizing, it's going to be her content. So next, I'm going to create this button with the curve and the shadow using linear gradient and with the chevron symbol. So let's do that. So let's draw this button. We're going to draw a circle. So take the ellipse tool and we're going to make 50 by 50 pixel. Then I'm going to add the linear gradient with 2 colors. So the top color is going to be this gray and the second is going to be dark gray. Let's skew a little bit from the top left to bottom right. Next, I'm going to add the stroke. I'm going to add this gray. Next, I'm going to add the drop shadow. So it's going to be +6 and +6. And for the blur, it's going to be 12. And then I'm going to add the overlay. Next, I'm going to add the chevron symbol. So let's go to the SS symbol. Search for chevron. So you have choice to take the chevron up or chevron down. It's depend. For now, I'm going to take the chevron up because when I open the drop down button, the chevron, it goes down. When I close, the chevron goes up. So normally I made 2 different table rows for this prototype, but the main design is gonna be this one. So we're going to take the chevron down. All right, so let's paste right there. So press T and then Command V. So I'm going to add a frame first for this symbol. So Option Command G. And for the frame, it's going to be 44 by 44 like usual. And then center this icon. So let's select everything. I'm going to Option Command G. There you go. My button is done. And let's name drop down button. All right, let's combine with the title. So I'm just going to drag directly here and I'm going to delete this one. There you go. And next step we're going to do, we're going to convert this flat version to the neumorphism version. All you need to do is add 2 inner shadow. So let's do it. So I'm going to add the inner shadow. Begin with the dark shadow first. So for the vary portion is going to be 6, 6, and the blur is going to be the double. So it's 12. I'm going to add overlay. I'm going to add another inner shadow. This time it's going to be white and it's going to be negative value this time. So -6, -6. The blur strength is going to be 12. And I'm going to add overlay as well. There you go. And I'm going to take off the stroke. And for the color, I'm going to add another color. Use the dropper and take the color of the background. And then that's it. So we're almost done. The only thing we need to do is just change the title and the subtitle. And by the way, it's a random address. So for my prototype, I need to add a frame like this one. Okay, I'm going to add a frame. So select this layer, Option Command G, or you can add manually a frame like this. So the frame is going to be 330 by 314. Center. And the next step I'm going to do, I'm going to select this layer, the auto layout. So right click, copy property. Don't forget to hide everything and paste on your frame instead. So paste property and then there you go. Of course, if you want to make it nice, just drag down a little bit like so. Make center and put at the bottom. We can go up a little bit. So 30 everywhere. All right, my drop down is done, but let's adjust the color here because when I go down, bottom background is a little bit dark. So take the color of the background. There you go. It blends well right now. So that's it. The drop down table row is finally done. So let's finish with this custom tab bar. All I need to do is just copy, Command C, click on this screen and Command V. Is going to place automatically for me. So to make like this screen tree, I only need to change the neon light effect in the back to the charts screen. So this is going to be my neon. You can just move manually like this. And then that's it. The entire screen is now complete. If you're able to follow all the steps from screen 1 to screen 3, then congratulations! You just create an entire Tesla UI app from scratch. Good job, guys! I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and find it useful. Now, go ahead and build your amazing Dark Neumorphism app with Figma. It's easy, right? Don't worry, I put all of my design on the same Figma file. You can just go back to reduplicate because I put a lot of effort on this. So enjoy, guys! See you on the next tutorial, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys!